Today we are going to create a new patient record for the Preventative Care Measures group. First, choose your favorite web browser and go to www.MDinteractive.com. Once on our homepage, you can then enter in your username and password. If you do not have an account yet, please select Create an Account and follow the steps to set up your new MDinteractive account. Once you are in your homepage for your MDinteractive account, please select Create Patient Record. You will want to be sure that the PQRS measure selected is correct. In this case, we are going to change from the Diabetes Measures group by selecting from the drop-down arrows and change to the Preventative Care Measures group. You can then set this as your default layout so that on each subsequent patient record you create, the Preventative Care Measures group will appear. Next, you will begin by completing your provider information. Be sure that the MPI you enter is the individual MPI and not the group MPI. Also be sure that the tax ID number is the same as the tax ID number that is used when billing Medicare. Please note that after the initial provider fields have been completed, they will auto-populate when entering in subsequent patient records. For that reason, be sure to verify that the information is accurate. Once you have completed the provider information, you can then begin entering in your patient information. Please note that you can tab through each of the boxes or you can use the mouse to click through. The date of birth may be entered using the month, day, and year, or by selecting the date from the provided calendar. The medical record number, otherwise known as MRN, is not a required field. It's optional and can be used if you would like. FFS Medicare is fee-for-service Medicare. If the patient being entered is a Medicare Part B fee-for-service patient, then you would select Yes from the drop-down menu. If not, please select Other for the other type of coverage. As a reminder, when completing a measures group, you will need over 50% of the patients being entered to be Medicare Part B fee-for-service. In this case, at least 11 out of the 20 patients being completed. For the visit date, you will use the same month, day, year format, or simply select from the pre-provided calendar. Now you will begin entering in the clinical data requested by CMS for the Preventative Care Measures group. You will enter data directly into the fields by selecting from the drop-down options provided. Please note that when hovering over a particular measure, you will be able to see a brief description as well as the measure number will appear. For example, with tobacco use screening and cessation, if you hover the mouse over, you will see a description. If you would like a full description of each of the measures and response options available, you can find it on our website, MDinteractive.com, under the Preventative Care Measures Group section, titled CMS Descriptions. So for these options, you will simply select from the approved answers provided. You will notice with the Preventative Care Measures group that there are several measures that are dependent on either the age or the gender of the patient being entered. In this example, we are entering data for a 69-year-old female. Therefore, you would complete the data for all of the measures. However, if you were entering data, for example, for a 69-year-old male patient, you would simply skip the measures that were not relevant, such as mammography, urinary incontinence, or the DEXA scan. At the bottom of the screen, you will notice two areas that are already entered. Please do not alter these fields. They are for internal purposes only. Once you have checked and completed all of the patient's data, be sure to select Create Patient Record. This can be done at either the bottom of the screen or up at the top of the screen. This will save all of the data you have just entered. You have now successfully created your first patient record for the Preventative Care Measures group. You can now continue entering in the remainder of your patients for the Preventative Care Measures group. Thank you.